I'm Vernon Felton, Senior Editor at Bike Magazine. We're at Bike's 2015 Bible Bike Test, and tonight we're reviewing a surprising bike, a new bike from Evil. This is called the Following. It's a 29er, it's 120 millimeters of travel. It's, again, entirely new. This is a bike that no one's even seen. We have a bike set up with the base level kit. And when it comes to Evil, your base level kit's pretty high end. So this is SRAM X1 one-bike system. It has a pike in the front, a dropper post in this case, Kind Shock lev on it, race face, cockpit, drivetrain, cranks. All in all, a really impressive bike, full carbon, $4,500. Which, if that doesn't sound cheap to you, you can get carbon frames for about $3,000. So it's pretty darn impressive. Now, if that's too much for you, you can get the frame for just $2,600, and that comes with the RockShox Monarch Devinar rear shock and an angle set headset. The real question, of course, is this: how did it ride?
The most evil of us should answer this first.
Yeah, this bike was pretty evil. I had a really good time on it. Last year we got the Evil Uprising.
Yeah, 26 inch.
And it was the only 26-inch wheeled bike in our test last year.
Right.
And it was, I think we all considered it to be
in the running for
a favorite.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really impressive riding bike. And over the last year or so, I've grown to really like the short travel 29ers. And so I'm really happy to see this bike on the market.
Now, this is a bike that Kevin Walsh, the owner of Evil, did not want to make, because, you know, he's one of a large contingent of people who felt that 29ers are, for lack of a better word, lame.
Yeah.
That they handle like shopping carts or big rigs or whatever term you want to throw in, right? But enough people, including yourself, were pushing him to do this.
Yeah, I had several phone conversations with him, and he's like, what kind of bikes are you riding? What kind of bikes are you riding? And I kept telling him all these 120 29ers that I loved, and he's like, why? And I'm like, they handle really good. Trust me, dude.
And this
he
is
actually
the guy,
made one.
And this is the guy that charges downhill. So he was looking to make a 29er that was aggressive, that could be beaten hard, and that was super versatile, but still had the handling of the Uprising, which was super short rear end, 16.8 millimeter or 16.8 inch chainstays, which this bike has.
Yeah.
And
Short.
it's super short for a 29er. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and there's also, you know, there's a bunch of interesting things. We should say that this is, again, another collaboration with Dave Weigel. It uses the Delta suspension system.
Which stands for what?
Dave's Extra Legitimate
Travel Apparatus.
There you have it. Taking the piss a little bit.
So dig into it. What does the Delta offer?
Well, you know, I don't know exactly what axle path it takes, but what I do know is that when I stomp on the pedals, it's there for me, offering support, and it's like, it's coddling me like a little baby, and like I can charge up hills, and it's like, it has good pedaling support, but then it's got amazing traction, and that was one of the things about the Uprising last year. You know, it was the smallest wheeled bike in the test, but it had as much grip as some of the 29ers did, right?
Yeah.
So I think that transfers through with this bike. It has insane grip. But then it's a 120 bike, and it feels bottomless. It really feels bottomless, doesn't it?
This was, there's only one other bike that I was descending as fast on, and that was a bike with, you know, a couple more inches of travel.
Yeah.
You know, and this bike, you could just charge so hard, and yet the rear end is so sharp and so short that, you know, you plow that front wheel in, and if you come in the wrong angle, you can just kind of flip the rear end through and still just snake through these corners.
Oh.
Super capable. And, you know, the other thing that's cool is that it's got flip chips, so you can change, you know, the bottom bracket height and just under geometry. This also comes with an angle set. Dave Weigel's collaborated with FSA, and they've got this internal angle set, you know, adjustable geometry headset on the bike. So you could change the head angle from 68.6 to, I believe, 66.5 degrees. And
pretty slack.
Which is pretty slack.
Especially for a 29er.
Hugely slack for a 29er. But again, that's what Walsh wanted. He wanted a bike that was sort of like for steep, gnarly terrain.
Yeah, and the bottom brackets are like
13.
Low and really low.
Yeah,
it's
low
not high and low. It says high on the link, but it's not high.
No, 13.2 is not high, right?
And that's what we wrote it in, right?
Yeah, exactly. Which was nice for clearance. We have a ton of rocky roots type stuff and ledges, and then it goes down to 12.8. You're going to say that, right?
Well, it's a clever thing to do because, especially catering to the type of audience they're going to be drawn towards a bike like an Evil, you know, like with a name like the Evil following, you know, right? Like these are people that are not worried about winning races on Sunday nights.
Right.
Like these are people that want to shred, right? So, and at 29er, people shred in different ways in it. So having some bottom bracket adjustment, some head angle adjustment is good.
So I mean, the bike, honestly, riding it, you know, right on the top of my list.
What I want to drive home here is that this is a 29er that does not have, this is not hyperbole, none of the drawbacks of the 29er.
Yeah.
I guess if you're on something crazy steep, you know, your butt might hit the tire, you know, 3 inches sooner than it would otherwise. But handling wise, performance wise, there is no reason not to have a 29-inch bike when bikes like this are available. This is a 29er that could be anyone's only bike. And I never thought that I would say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
This thing is built for like the most aggressive of rippers, and it's a 29er. So any people out there who think that 29ers are lame
You need to ride this.
need to, yeah.
Because it'll smack you down and change your mind, and,
Yeah.
and make you want one.
And you can jump it. You can climb it. You can descend it. You can jump it. The bike is balanced. It's got insane traction. All around, the thing is.
I didn't even think I was on a 29er.
no.
Yeah.
Didn't even really think about that.
No,
Yeah.
not until you hit something rocky and you're like, damn, I'm just kind of floating
Oh, I'm
over
just
this.
floating
Yeah.
over this. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think there you have it. This is a bike that, again, it's one of those category redefining bikes. It's really that good. The Evil Following. If you want to read the full review, check out Bike Magazine's Bible of Bike Tests. If you want to see more bike test videos, go to bikemag.com.